Nothing just launched a brand new pair of budget over-ear headphones, the CMF Headphone Pros. And according to the reviews, they look to be pretty good for the price. So let me tell you everything about these headphones. So in terms of the design, they come in this very sleek body with this glossy finish on the body itself. And on the ear pads, they come in different colors. So the body itself you can get in green, white or black, and they come with the corresponding ear pad colors. But you can also switch the ear pads for different colors, and those are also black, white and green, but there's also an orange. And I think a lot of these color combos look very great, and you can see a wide variety of them here up on screen now. Making the headband circular and adding these metal tubes makes it look really nice in my opinion. And then we got the controls. So Nothing is very known for their controls on their devices like headphones and smartphones, and on this they have implemented some brand new pretty exclusive controls. So we got the energy slider, which is like the main unique point of these headphones. It's basically a slider that adjusts the bass level or the treble level if you want that. So that's on the right ear cup, and on the right ear cup we also got a button for powering on the headphones and putting them into pairing mode. And then we got the roller, which I also think is a pretty good control. It's basically like a scroll wheel which you can use to adjust volume, and if you press it, it will play or pause your media, and if you long press it, it will switch between ANC and transparency mode. And it's pretty crazy that they can pack all of these features into a single control, and also makes it a little confusing, I've heard some reviewers say. There's also what they're just calling the button, which is basically just a programmable button that can do a lot of different things. But by default, it's set to ChatGPT, and it can also cycle between ANC modes, toggle spatial audio on or off, or toggle the mic on or off. And I think it's very nice to actually have a mic mute button. I've not really seen that with many headphones before that weren't like gaming headsets, granted. And if you want two of these controls, you can also set one of them as a double press and one as a single press. These headphones also have LDAC, which is pretty standard considering that some of the budget CMF buds even had LDAC. But they also have high-res certification, which is very nice, but that's only with the included 3.5mm cable. And then the EQ in the Nothing X app has also changed a lot, because there's now like EQ modes based on the genre of music. So there's like pop, rock, electronic, etc. And I think this is a very welcome addition to the EQ, but I think you still have some of the same controls as earlier. And then these also have the personal sound profile, where they kind of like measure your hearing, and they will adjust the EQ based on how your hearing is. Like it can maybe increase bass a little or increase treble a little based on what is necessary for your hearing. And this is a very nice feature that's actually not available in the Nothing Ear Ace, which I'll get to it, but they cost around the same price, these, as the Nothing Ear Ace. So for noise cancelling, Nothing actually claims that these headphones can remove 99% of background sound, which I'm not too sure about, because a review I watched says that these headphones can block out most background noise so that like you can hear your music clearly, but it just muffles the sound, and like very loud noises will not be blocked entirely. In my experience, this reminds me a lot of the noise cancelling on the Nothing Ear Ace, which I personally own, and it's actually very good on those headphones. So if it's the same on these CMF Headphone Pros, I would say it's actually pretty good for the price. For some other features, they also have multi-point Bluetooth, which is pretty nice. Most Nothing products have this. And then they also got spatial audio, which is a very premium audio feature that has been available on many CMF buds. And when trying this on the Nothing Headphone Ones, in my experience, I found it like really realistic and a really good feature. And if it's as good as on the Nothing Headphone Ones, I would definitely say this is a very welcome feature at this price point. And according to a review I read, the mics are pretty good. So Nothing advertises these being able to have up to 100 hours of battery life. The key word there being up to, because 100 hours is with the AAC codec, which is much worse than LDAC, and without ANC or transparency mode turned on. And personally, I think that most people are going to use LDAC and with either transparency mode or noise cancelling there all the time. And with that, it's going to be 38 hours. So it's not quite 100 hours at all. But I think 38 hours is still pretty good for this price, and it's definitely sufficient for listening to your music for a long period of time. And something I was actually surprised by when I watched one of the reviews of these headphones is that you can actually get 3 hours of listening with ANC and LDAC on by just charging these headphones for 5 to 10 minutes. Like, that's really fast, and they can charge in a total of 2 hours to full. But what do they actually cost? Because if they're too expensive, like, you won't want to buy them. So they will start at £79, 99 euros or $99, which I actually think is a fairly respective price point. And I think that they are very good for the price according to some reviews I've read. And that's also what those reviews say. They say that it's great value because of its cool design, and it's a very great feature set with the pretty good noise cancelling and the pretty good battery life and sound for this low price point. It's available right now on nothing.tech, or if you live in the US, it's sadly first available on the 7th of October, but that's not too far away. So if you want to pick one of these up for yourself, make sure to go to nothing.tech right now. And today they also introduced a new color of the CMF Watch 3 Pro, which is a green that actually matches these new headphones. So I think it would look really good if you're wearing both that watch and those headphones in green because they're matching. So guys, that's basically everything about these new headphones. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a like. And if you want to see more Nothing content here in Techtember and Techtober, where Nothing is releasing a lot of new products, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.